You started already?
All right.
Hi, folks. I'm Bob Schrupp, physical therapist.
Brad Heineck, physical therapist.
Together we have the most famous physical therapists on the internet.
In our opinion, of course, Bob.
How the #1 physical therapist in the world can stop your sciatica or back pain. And I know what people are thinking, Brad.
Right.
They think we are the #1.
Oh, Bob, your ego.
Yeah, not even close, not even close. We're talking about somebody else, and we'll get into that. But before we do, Brad, I noticed a few people watching us there.
I did too, Bob, once again.
If you are new to our channel, please take a second to subscribe to us. We provide videos on how to stay healthy, fit, pain-free, and we upload every day. Also, please go over to the Facebook and like us, because Brad and I, as children, we share this bond. We're not liked, and now we're trying to turn things around.
Wait till my mom sees this video.
Yeah,
She's going to just go nuts.
She'll be upset, yeah.
Okay.
So, years ago, Brad, I conducted a study. I did this for a class, and I surveyed a bunch of fellow physical therapists, and I was asking them who had the most influence on their life as their career as a physical therapist. So who was their best mentor? And it was a whole process, but in the end, it became Robin Mckenzie.
Sure.
And I don't think this is surprising to you, is
No,
it?
well, it's not
Probably
at
the
all.
greatest influence on your career?
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Right.
same with me. So Robin Mckenzie, there's the Mckenzie Method for treating, and I would say, without a doubt, the Mckenzie Method is the best non-surgical approach to stopping sciatica, herniated disc.
Right. And I think the whole philosophy of the way he approaches treatment is to educate the patient to take care of themselves when they're not here, when they're not with the therapist, how they can take care of themselves, because the rest of the time is more important
Than the little bit of time you spend in
what caused a problem.
That's what I really like about it too, Brad. They put it in your hands. They're going to show you, give you the tools on how to treat your sciatica, and you take it away, and it works quite often. Really
And when you have control of what's going on in your body, it's much more comfortable than having someone else, the feeling that someone else has to do it for you.
So I'm just going to tell a quick story, Brad. I went to my first Mckenzie class, and what's cool about these classes, they actually bring in real patients.
Right.
Brad knows this. We took one together, didn't we?
Yeah. Yep.
They bring in real patients, so they have to treat these patients in front of everybody. It's a lot of pressure, I would think.
Right.
So they brought this man in. He owned a nursery, and he had really bad sciatica going all the way down to his foot, and he didn't want to be there. I could tell. He was grumpy. He was angry. You know, he's sad. You know, he's putting in 60 hours a week. So she goes through, does the evaluation. She gives him this book, How to Treat Your Own Back by Robin Mckenzie.
Sure.
I think it is a big important part of understanding how to do this.
Right.
So that night he went home, he read the book, he did the exercise, which we're going to show you how to do, and he came back, and the next day you could see there was some hope in his eyes.
Sure.
I mean, he was starting, you know, and he had even, I'll show you, did a little variation on it, even a little bit,
Yep.
and things were just a little bit better already. And then she taped him that day. She did that taping technique.
Yeah,
where
we have a video on that.
Yeah, we have a video on that, how you tape the back so you can't bend forward. And anyway, by the end of the week, he was much better. He cried on the last.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, it was a big deal. This guy was, his livelihood was at stake. And the instructor admitted, she goes, I didn't think we'd get this one. She goes, it was so close to being surgery.
Right.
She goes, I didn't think it was going to work out. But so, I mean, I was a believer after that, believe me. So
I remember the first course I took, and they had these real patients come in, and it's like, this is
amazing.
Right, when they have, it's completely unscripted. You have no idea what's going on, and you know, they had 4 patients with that first course, and all 4 of them
did well.
Did very well.
Yeah. Just it's incredible. It really is. So anyway, he does have a lot of. He's got books on how to treat your own neck. Again, he's putting it in your court. How to treat your own back. How to treat your own shoulder. He's got some textbooks for therapists too.
Right. Yeah. These books are for the layperson.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be complicated terminology. It's going to be for the average person can understand it. You know, it's not going to take you a week to read it. Sit down and look at it. It's got good diagrams.
And he's got other products too. We'll maybe get into these if we have time.
Sure.
But let's show the first exercise, Brad. So again, without going into the details of why this works, I'm just going to show what he does.
Right.
Okay. Because it's really it's important to understand why it works too, but we don't have time.
Yeah. Not in a YouTube video unless we go to the long haul.
So generally, you're going to start off on your stomach. A lot of times you might start. Do you want to grab a couple pillows, Brad? Because I so often that is the case.
One more?
No, I missed that one, sorry.
I'm just having fun.
So
Not supposed to do that anymore.
quite often you start off with a couple pillows underneath your stomach because a lot of people can't even tolerate on their stomach the first time.
Right. So they're typically, you're standing oftentimes over to one side, forward. It's hard to straighten up. Those are the people that have a hard time laying flat on the floor or the plinth.
Yeah, and then you might even try just getting up on your elbows. And if after, maybe a day or two, or maybe the first day even, if you're able to pull out one of the pillows, go ahead and pull it out.
Now, Bob is not saying you're going to lay on the pillows for a full day, but you're going to lay there for minutes at a time.
Yeah, for a few minutes at a time, maybe 5 minutes.
Yep.
And the whole thing, the key to this exercise, Brad, as you know, is that you should do it quite often. I mean, he's recommending that you do it every hour if you can.
Right.
But at least like 5 times a day if you can.
I can say in the clinic for the first day I've worked with people, I've had 2 pillows under them, and I've timed it, and I had them on the table for a total of 20 minutes, and I'd get down to no pillows and have them flat, but it would take that much time.
Sometimes it takes that long. And
Right.
for some people, you're not going to need any pillows at all. Some
Right.
people can tolerate going down like this already. And then you might get where you get up on your elbows like this.
Yep.
And then eventually you're going to progress to doing the press-ups. And that's where you put your hands underneath your shoulders and you're going to press up like this. Now, tell them, Brad, what you're looking for here, what the pain should be doing.
Right. So if you've got sciatica, you're going to have pain, numbness, tingling, some symptoms down your leg, oftentimes to the foot. As you do this and get more flat and start to do the press-ups, the symptoms in the leg should start going away. In other words, particularly below the knee, if your foot starts feeling better after you do 10 press-ups, you're doing the right thing. I've had people where the leg pain is almost all gone away and it's shifted up here to the buttock in the back, and then you're smiling because
that's a good sign.
It's gold. You're really going to progress well and quite quickly.
So yeah, as Brad said, it might even get worse in the back, but eventually that'll go away too if you can get it up there.
Now, if you've got a case that's so bad and you try some of these press-ups and the pain gets worse for some reason in the leg or the foot, you need to stop.
Yeah, and then you're maybe going to need to find a therapist trained in the Mckenzie Method because there are a lot of variations you have to do sometimes.
Right, and the tough ones.
We have a video on that, how to locate. They have them in 36 countries, 38 countries.
There's probably
Brad.
more by now, yeah.
Yeah, and they have a therapist locator on their site that you can find.
Right.
So anyway, I'm going to show you the variation that this guy did. So he started doing these, and then he started kind of twisting like this, Brad.
Oh, really?
Which is kind of a little bit of what we have people do later sometimes on the neck.
Yeah,
Right,
exactly, right.
So he started doing this, and it just helped resettle it down, and he started getting the pain out of the leg.
Sure.
So I thought that was pretty cool that he was doing that. But again, you're going to go up. Let's say if you can only go this far, just go this far. If you can start going all the way up, but the idea is you don't bring the pelvis off the table.
Good point, Bob. Yeah, this stays down. As a matter of fact, there are some. Last week I had a patient where I actually held her pelvis down so it's stabilized, and I wasn't pushing, I wasn't pounding on her or anything like that, or manipulating. I was just holding, and it worked well.
If you don't have someone to do that, you can grab a sheet. We have one rolled up one here, don't we, Brad? This one.
Oh, we've got everything up in that cabinet.
So you can roll up a sheet. This one's not going to be long enough for me, I don't think.
Yeah.
The idea is you roll up the sheet and then maybe you want to go grab the stretch out strap, Brad?
Sure.
But I guess I can do it.
You got it, Bob?
Yep. You can push up like this
Yeah.
and it's going to hold it down. The stretch out strap works out really good for this too because it's got the loops and you can put your hands in the loops and you can go ahead and give some extra pressure. This is where you want to eventually go, is where you actually have maybe a little more extra pressure.
Right.
I was just going to say another variation, Brad, is if it's not working, then there's some things you can try. One is the banana. So you're shifting. If the pain is on this side, I'm shifting my hips to the left. So the pain's on the right. I shift my hips to the left, but I keep my shoulders where they were.
Right, as well as the knees. So
Right.
if you look down from the top, the reason it's called the banana because your body is curved like a banana laying on its side. And when you do that, and it may take 30 seconds or so, but if that's the right thing to do, then the leg is going to start to feel better, or it's just going to settle it down.
Yeah, you're trying to find which movement works.
Right.
So now I'm in this position. Now I'm doing press-ups with the banana.
Right.
Let's say it's the pains on the left side. I would shift
With
my
the banana.
I'd shift my hips to the right, keep my shoulders to the left. And I'm doing the banana in the opposite direction.
Right. What about roadkill, Bob?
Roadkill. So roadkill is another one where you actually bring the leg up like this.
Yep.
And did we ever figure out why it's called roadkill?
Well,
looks like a person was killed and laid on the road.
Yeah, I got ran over. I don't know, but last week I had a young woman. She was 26 years old, and it wasn't working, the regular press up. And I said, let's try this. And as soon as she put her leg up like this, the pain and symptoms in her leg didn't disappear, but went down at least 50% within 20 seconds.
Nice. So
I knew it was the right thing.
Same
right
thing
there.
again. You're going to do press ups.
Yep.
And again, you're trying to do these 5 times a day. I've had people that worked at a factory, Brad, and I actually had them put cardboard down on the floor. Yep. And they did it.
Yep.
I mean, because again, this is their livelihood. They have to try to get by. Another variation is to take a towel, and I think it kind of does the same thing as the roadkill, Brad. Is if you put it underneath,
right.
you put a towel right under here.
Right under that pelvic bone.
Yeah.
Here,
So-
let me clear the table off
Yeah,
for you,
sure.
Bob. It's starting to get messy and
So you put a
cramped.
towel right underneath here, and and again the same thing. You can do a press up. for
Sure.
that. So
Yep.
we have a video on how to do advanced methods
Right.
with this too. But check it out. Get the book. It can really help. We'll have it in the link below. But Mckenzie, he's our hero.
You better believe it. If he can't fix you, nobody can.
All right. Oh, by the way, he did pass away, but his work lives on.
Right, that's
Thanks.
for sure.